Hey guys, I'm back for another video and welcome to another Hypixel SkyBlock tutorial. It's been a while since I've done one of these, and today I'm going to tell you guys 20 random tips for all different aspects of the game, just little details that may help you with your journey. And by the way, before we get started, if you are going to buy cookies and use them to, I don't know, get coins in the bazaar or whatever, use code ThirtyVirus. It's a quick way to get coins, and it also gets me some IRL coins. So I'd appreciate it if you could do that, and I'll call that tip number 0. Just get booster cookies for coins. But for real, let's get into it. This first tip is probably the most highly requested question that I get in my stream chat, and that is, how do you get your combat up in the early game? The recent update made Crimson Isles an island that requires combat 24. Now, in order to get there, I would recommend that you do bestiary. So, for those of you that don't know, bestiary is a system that counts every kill you get on every mob in SkyBlock. Now, some of these kills are quite easy to rack up, others are a bit more complicated, but you get rewarded every time you kill a certain number of each mob. For example, right? Let's say villager zombies, I kill 10 of them, it'll give me villager zombie bestiary 1, and that gives me 1 milestone level. Now, getting to bestiary level 18 will start to reward you with 1 million combat experience, which is quite insane. Now, I've done the math with my chat. Getting yourself to the combat 24 requirement for Crimson Isles would require getting to bestiary 20, which would mean 200 different milestones, which sounds insane, but it's actually not. You can get, for example, I got to zombie villager 6, so that's 6 of them from one mob. Killing a certain amount of wolves will get you bestiary. You can go to the spider's den. These are extremely easy to get many kills. So if you're struggling to get combat XP, first of all, try to at least get yourself to bestiary 18 for a quick 1 million combat XP. But if you want to keep going, perhaps get some kills on stuff in the end. I know it's very easy to get kills on endermites. Really easy to kill endermen at the top of the island. Deep caverns mobs, extremely easy to get kills on those. In the dwarven mines as well. The park has certain types of dogs. Get yourself to bestiary 20 and then you'll immediately be able to get to Crimson Isles. Speaking of Crimson Isles and skipping progression, basically getting a ton of combat XP, you can get yourself a Blade of the Volcano. It's a very cheap sword that only costs like 120,000 coins as of recording this. The stats are very close to that of a Livid Dagger for like, what is that? I don't even know. 1/20th, 30th the price. Very cheap. Yeah, and the combat requirement would have already been surpassed if you skipped some progression there. Also, you can opt into getting a Ragnarok axe, which is a bit more. At the moment, the lowest bid is 300k. I've seen them go as low as 200k. But these have a whopping 250 base damage, which is quite high. Again, a great value. 300k for a weapon that does basically the same amount of damage as a Livid Dagger, maybe a bit more than the Blade of the Volcano, I believe. Yeah, that's a great value. And the combat requirement, again, you've already gotten there if you took the first step. Here's a little funny one for you. As you know, if you go to Zog, you can purchase a combat XP boost for 20% bonus for 60,000 coins. But if you go to the auction house and look up combat XP, 10,000 coins for a plus 30%. So 10% more pet XP for a 1/6 of the price. Speaking of pets, you also should at all times have a pet with an XP share item on it, so that you can, let's say every time you get XP for your current pet, that you can level up the one with the XP share. And again, with the combat XP boost on your main pet, you're just getting more and more. While unequipped, this pet gains 25% of the equipped pet's XP. So put the combat XP boost on your main pet, put one of these on some secondary pet. Trust me, the earlier you do this, the better, because you're basically double dipping 25% extra pet XP every time you get a kill, every time you mine a block. It adds up after a while, and it's a lot of wasted XP otherwise, so make sure you have that. Even all throughout the late and end game. Now, I don't believe I have one because I don't know. I'm not taking my own advice, but I only have like 2 or 3 pets that are not maxed, so I guess it's okay. So with Crimson Isles came an update that made it so that basically every single mob in the game, including mini bosses, has a loot sharing system. So if you want to get loot from, let's say, a mini boss, I'm going to put on my actual armor for a second. If I do at least 1 million damage to him and then run away, let's say that guy gets the kill, I will actually get loot from that fight. So when it comes to mini bosses like this one, doing a minimum of 1 million XP will be enough for me to get loot during the fight. But when it comes to any other mob in the game, you only need to deal 1% of its maximum HP in order to get loot share when the mob dies. Yep. So as you can see, I only did just over 1 million damage and I got a hollowed skull, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so even if it was something small, like, I don't know, this guy. There you go. If someone else were to kill that mob, then I would get the XP for it. Did I say XP? I meant the drops. At least 1% the damage, or the maximum health. If I do that, then someone else can get the kill. I'd still get the stuff. So long as you don't die, because if you die, then it resets it and you don't actually get credit for doing damage to the mob. And speaking of Crimson Isles, there is a system called trophy fishing, which is kind of a late game thing, but you can get into it quite early. It just won't give you a whole lot of benefit other than a talisman. That being said, if you want to get in on it early, I would highly recommend you do buy a starter lava rod, and before you hit fishing level 27, you actually can lava fish without fishing up any sea creatures, because all of the Crimson Isle sea creatures only spawn at that fishing level or above. So if you want to get some trophy fishing out of the way quickly, that is the way to do it. And then hopefully by the time you get to fishing level 27, then you can buy yourself the trophy fishing armor set, which basically makes it so you're immune to getting any sort of sea creatures. Now, the reason why you don't want them is because obviously they have a ton of health and will probably kill you if you're early game, but even if you're late game, it's just a nuisance. You don't really want sea creatures if you're trying to get trophy fish. So if you're a low fishing level and you want something that'll save you time down the line, this is one of those things. Another fishing suggestion, if I go to the park, for example, there's a strategy going around right now using an item that I personally have never used, but okay, I had to pull up the wiki because I couldn't find any of these in the auction house. Anyways, the Totem of Corruption is an interesting item. You place it down and it corrupts all mobs. Now, this extends to mobs outside of the Crimson Isles, specifically on sea creatures. A strategy I've seen people use is that they will put down a corrupted totem and then fish outside the Crimson Isles to get some very quick obfuscated trophy fish, and then you can fillet those at Odger from Magma Fish and Collection, which is pretty useful. Here's one that's pretty obvious, but I feel like it should be said. As soon as possible, I'm talking like day 1, day 2 of your profile, get to places like, for example, the Dwarven Mines, do your daily commissions right away. Also, go up here, do the Fetcher quest, do the Puzzler quest, which if I teleport over here, I'll show you where that is. You only get to do these events once per real life day. There's the Puzzler. Do that. Do your mining commissions, your daily commissions, which give you extra powder, extra Heart of the Mountain XP. Do the Fetcher and Puzzler quests every day. Redeem them during double powder if you can, so you can get faster progression. Also, same goes for the experimentation table minigame. You should be starting this as soon as possible. For those of you that don't know, enchanting is a skill that really is just time locked if you don't have a lot of gems. So put down your experimentation table, do your mini games every single day as soon as humanly possible, because trust me, once you get late game and you want to just get through things like this fast, you really can't because it's time locked. So do it when you're early enough game that, you know, you have the time, enough days are going to pass, you can progress in these things, which are very quick, by the way. Doing the daily mining commissions only takes about, I don't know, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, even with bad gear. And the experimentation table minigame, depending on how many gems and retries you use, would only take like a couple minutes. And this also goes for the Crimson Isles. If we head here, there's another daily quest that I actually probably should be doing right now, and that is the Heavy Pearls quest. So if we head down here, you should be doing the matriarch quest over here to get your heavy pearls. Here's another simple one to do with dwarven mines. If you want to make some early passive income, then I would suggest always having something going in the forge. Always be refining something, crafting something. Obviously make sure that the materials you put in is worth less than what you're getting out and selling. But yeah, this is basically a passive money making method, especially if you're like me with all 5 slots. You can really have a lot going on. But again, I don't really sweat the game much anymore. I'm not struggling for coins, so I'm not taking advantage of this. But if you're just coming up and you need to get a lot of coins, this is a good way to do that. So yeah, make sure to take advantage of your forge slots if you have them. And even if you don't get them, use this. It's basically free coins. They're doing all the work for you. It takes, again, it's time locked, a lot of time to produce these items. Okay, this is a more general list of suggestions here. I'm gonna all categorize it as one suggestion, and that's to defend yourself from ratting, hackers, false bans, scammers, whatever. So first of all, do not download any weird mods that you do not know are safe. The reason why is that typically what you see is that mods will have some code built in that will basically rat you. And what that means is that your account information, your login, your session, whatever, is going to get shared with whoever developed the mod. They will use that information to log into your account, trade away all your items to some IRL trading ring, and then delete your profile and you're gone. This is a big problem. It's gotten so big, in fact, that if you go to the hub, you will see there is a security sloth NPC, which looks like me because of Nick Hyder, but he'll give you information on the website. There you go. Downloading suspicious mods or visiting untrusted Discord servers. That's the other one. Don't click any weird links in Discords. There's a whole article. Talk to the freaking sloth. Read the articles. It's worth it. You don't want to lose hundreds, if not thousands of hours of progress to ratting. Also, don't trade with players advertising in public lobbies. This is how you don't get scammed, by the way. I did make a whole video on how not to get scammed. I'd recommend you click on that. But here's some additional information that you might find useful. I'm in a big lobby right now. But one thing that's really nice about Badlion Client specifically is if I go into the SkyBlock mod section, there's actually SkyBlock. I think it's in QOL. Yeah, enable ad blocker. There you go. So ad blocker is really nice. It basically, look how clean my chat is. I don't have chat toggled right now, but yeah, so no advertisements are showing up in my public chat. As a matter of fact, no messages are showing up in my public chat because it's probably all advertising. But there you go. That's a nice feature to have. My tutorial on how not to get scammed is in the cards. Now, if you are really concerned about getting ratted, there is one other thing you could do. This is kind of the nuclear option. So the museum introduced a system called soul binding, and basically what that does is once you put an item in here or an armor set or whatever, it becomes soul bound, which means it cannot leave your co-op. So this could be used as a way to basically say screw you to anybody that gets into your account. So if you wanted to be a savage, you could soulbound all of your best gear. For example, I've done this with my Necron set, with my Mithril coat, with my Warden helmet. Everything's co-op soulbound. So what would happen is, let's say you do get ratted. Somebody gets into your account, logs into SkyBlock, they go to trade all of your stuff away to one of their IRL trader friends, and oops, it's soulbound. You can't trade it out off the profile. So yeah, it's not gonna help you much with losing items, because typically what happens when you get ratted is your profile gets deleted anyways. If you basically just want to say screw you to the IRL traders and hackers and ratters, whatever, even if they get into your stuff, they're not going to be able to get anything out of you. That's how you do it. So it's going to make them less profitable. It means they can make less money selling coins, stolen coins, ratted coins, duped coins, whatever. It will impede their operations and reduce their... It'll basically make it less worthwhile for them to do it, which is always good in my book. So if you know that you're never going to trade the items away, soul bind them. So then no one can steal them from you. And if somebody tries, they're going to be met with an error, or it's just going to say you can't trade it. This suggestion is actually going to be taken from a video that was just uploaded on my channel a few days ago. So there's a strategy right now where you can go into the Dwarven mines. If you find the Mines of Devon, which, as you can see by my mini map here, in the Mithril deposits, which is the top right hand corner, there's actually a warp scroll to the middle that's really helpful. Then just teleport your way here. You can find yourself this is the Mines of Devon. Now this lobby's already picked clean, but a strategy could be to find a lobby that has not been picked clean, get yourself 3/4 mineral armor and a chestplate of Devon, and then go crazy down here. I've got myself a Devon's drill, but anyways, especially during mining fiestas, this strategy is insane. You'll make roughly 12 million coins an hour if you have my setup, but also you'll get a ton of gold collection. If you sell during Diana, then you're gonna get even more coin because everybody's gonna want to craft things like griffin pets and what have you. But I happen to have a pet called the Golden Dragon, which actually gives you 10 strength per digit in your gold collection. So this is a good way to get that gold collection up. I just recently got to 10 million this way. I might consider getting to 100 million gold collection. It does take a while, but it's much more reasonable in my opinion than just running minions for 6 months. So yeah, this is a good trick for those that might need it. Here's another one from my recent videos. The Mithril coat is a really cool armor piece. It's not talked about a whole lot, but I really like it because it basically limits any attack to do 40% of your maximum health at a time. So basically what this does is it makes any instant kill attacks or any attacks that would have instant killed you would be maxed out at 40% of your maximum health. Now this is good for basically all stages of the game. Now I personally like to do this with Blaze Slayer to get rid of the fire pillar problem and the lava pit problem. Whatever, these attacks will hit you, you'll survive, losing only 40% of your health instead of 100%. Same goes for glyphs with Enderman Slayer, and basically any mob in the game that attacks you, if that damage would have killed you, well, if it does any more than 40%, then it would get defaulted to 40% of your max health. Now, I could see this being paired with something like a Wand of Atonement or a Power Orb, especially if you don't even have a lot of health. You might be able to tank a ton of hits just because your health is so small that it'll regenerate immediately, and then you just won't take the full damage anyway. So it could be a good item to have for a lot of scenarios. I would highly recommend it. Here's one that a lot of people probably already know. It's especially helpful on Stranded. So if you go upstairs over here, there is George, but you also can get him on Stranded, I believe. You can sell him pets. This is a great way to get rid of excess milestone pets. For example, if you were to get, say, uncommon rock, rare rock, epic rock, you don't want those. Just level up the common one until you get legendary, level up the legendary, but sell all the other pets to George. Same goes for Dolphin. So yeah, it's a good way to get rid of milestone pets for some excess coin, and you get quite a bit actually. I believe if you were to sell legendary rock, you get like 5 million, which could be quite good when paired with, apparently I heard a recent change made it so cobblestone on stranded islands counts towards rock pet, so you can get legendary pretty quickly, which could just be some free coin. So yeah, it's good to know. But also, I guess for Iron Man, it's nice, and for regular SkyBlock, if you have nothing, let's say you have a couple pets just lying around, need some coin quickly, it's good to do that. Now, anything other than a milestone pet, I probably wouldn't recommend doing that. He'll rip you off, but yeah, milestone pets specifically are pretty good. Now, this one's going to be a bit niche. This is a new item. It's called the Fire Freeze Staff. Apparently, I've heard it's not bad against Diana mobs because you can freeze them for 10 seconds. They won't take knockback, and yeah, it could be pretty helpful, especially I can imagine on like an Inquisitor or something. More research is going to be needed on that one because I know a lot of mobs can be pretty slippery and annoying to hit. So yeah, that's a quick little one. Take it or leave it. I heard from my chat that apparently the Voidwalker katana, which is a weapon reserved for Enderman Slayer, not only is it extremely cheap, like 85,000 coins, but apparently you can still use it despite not having a specific combat level or even Enderman Slayer level. So you could just buy this straight off the auction house day one profile and use it right away. And considering it does 150% damage to Enderman, that could be pretty strong if you're trying to do some damage on the end island, maybe kill your first few Endermen, get some pearls, use it on fairy souls, what have you. This could be a good way to circumvent the process a little bit. Now, it's probably going to get patched at some point, but as of recording this, you can use a Voidwalker katana with no requirement limitations whatsoever, which is pretty powerful in my opinion. It's a good sword too. Here's another Dwarven Mines one. If you head over to the Dwarven Mines and then teleport up here, you'll notice that there's these carts here. Now, the cool thing about the carts is that you can mine out the blocks and then they will reappear. Now, this is a pretty quick way to get collection. I remember using this on a bingo profile to get a whole lot, I believe, of lapis or emerald. I don't remember which one it was. It's been quite a while, but this is a pretty quick way to get fairly high collection. Now, of course, you could also sweat this if you wanted. You can go back to that mithril and whatever. You could just do this. If you wanted to get all ores for whatever reason, then teleport over here. There's some diamonds up here. Teleport there. You can get some gold. So these carts are pretty convenient, and again, it's just an unlimited source of most ores. Would recommend, except for coal, it looks like. This is another general SkyBlock tip, but it is pretty helpful. Now, there are certain quests in the game. For example, if we go over here, there's Melody's hair, which is a bit annoying, especially with a bad connection. Now, you can actually, if you go into your controls, you can swap the attack button and the pick block button. So switch buttons 1 and 3, and when you do that, it'll basically prevent, in the menu there, it'll prevent you from picking up the block in the menu representing the note, which will cause less lag. Now, there's other scenarios where you can change your key bindings for your benefit. Another example is on the private island. So if we head over here, let's say I wanted to do some sugarcane farming and I wanted to no-brain it, you know, I don't want to actually manually do all this. So what you can do then is go into Minecraft options, controls. You can swap attack with the space bar. Now, what that's going to do is make it so you can completely let go of the mouse with your right hand and then only press the space bar and arrow keys. And for example, a sugarcane, you can do the forwards backwards method, similar to this with a sugarcane hoe. Go back and forth with only one hand. You can take your hand off of the mouse. Extremely convenient. Now, you can also not only do this with farming sugarcane, but you can also do it in a cobblestone generator. So if we head up here, you can set space bar to attack, look straight up, use a golden axe, be hitting here, teleport pad, going back to the beginning, generate a ton of cobblestone with, again, only one hand. So then you could be watching something on Netflix on the other monitor, or maybe be doing something else with your other hand, snacking, whatever. It's convenient. So make sure to take advantage of changing keybinds to automate certain tasks in a safe and non-bannable way. I have to be careful with the word automate. It's not automate, it's simplify. You're still not automatic. You're a human doing everything. It's just that the controls are making it easier for you. So there you go. Now, this last suggestion, I'm actually going to pass off to fellow YouTuber Power Owner. Apparently, you can take combat minions on the private island with corrupt soil and kill them with an AFK setup for sulfur collection, which is something that, again, was very recent, added to the game. Sulfur has all sorts of things, most notably the nether sack. It's going to help. Totem of corruption, like I talked about earlier. Sulfur bow, implosion belt. So if you wanted to level up sulfur collection fairly quickly, there is a method on how to do that on Power Owner's channel. I'm going to leave a link in the card. And yeah, that's going to be it, chat. I'm not streaming. Anyways, I want to thank my stream chat for helping me out with the tips in this video. If you want to stop by my streams, I'd highly recommend it. They are fun, they're chill. So make sure to hit the notification bell and join the Discord server, discord.gg/30virus, to ensure that you always get notified when I stream. But anyways, for now, I guess that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.